But first, I want to start with today's game in Lincoln, Nebraska. Oklahoma traveled to Nebraska for the first time since 2009 with a new head coach. Mickey Joseph, making his debut as the interim head coach at Nebraska. And Brent Venables, well, he rung him in Oklahoma style. You know that Oklahoma cut through Nebraska 49-14 like an international harvester through a high-yield corn field. Look, it was over almost as soon as it got started. We saw Nebraska score about 11 minutes into the game, and that was the last time they would score until we get into garbage time. Oklahoma goes up big. I thought at one point we were going to get to 1997 in a revenge game. Those of you that do not know, Nebraska once beat Oklahoma 69-7 in what was one of the better years for Nebraska over the last 25 years, quite honestly. They won a national championship. I thought it was really interesting that going into this, Nebraska had lost its last 13 games by a combined less than single digits, right? So we're talking about going back to November 21st, 2020, when Illinois beat the Huskers 41-23. That was the last time that Nebraska had lost by double digits. And then Oklahoma put an end to that today with an outstanding performance, both offensively and defensively. And I think that is the take from this Oklahoma team. They've given up a total of 30 points in 3 games. And I thought it was interesting to think about, could this Oklahoma team be in position to make the college football playoff this season? This after we got to a point where that was all we could talk about, right? I think it's really interesting that we talk about Oklahoma getting back to college football playoff because Oklahoma fans have been there, done that, and we don't want to show up there to get our heads handed to us once again. Meanwhile, you look around the rest of college football, Michigan feels real good about their team. Perhaps Oregon is going to find their way back in with a Pac-12 championship win. We'll just have to wait and see on how that goes. But even before this game started, we got to hear from Nebraska fans about who they think should be their next head coach.
No, I didn't know if Big Red was going to bring it today, and I'll tell you what, they brought it. They brought it. Go, Big Red!
Hey, Coach, they cheering for you, Coach.
We want Urban too, though. Hey, we want you too.
Hey, there was legit concern this week that Big Red Nation would be subdued. Are you guys subdued or are we up today?
Yeah, they're ready to go.
So we know Nebraska wants in on the Urban Meyer sweepstakes. Hey, Big Red, if that's your man, go get your man. And it seems like Nebraska's interested. Dennis Dodd at CBS Sports reported that Nebraska had been in contact with Urban Meyer. You got to see Urban Meyer in the booth for the second half of the game, looking at what was going on, really giving a great analysis as from a coach's perspective about what Oklahoma was doing well, what Nebraska could work on. You can still see the strategy at work in his mind. He's got this new job. We'll see if he wants to get back into coaching. Nebraska, if that's your man, by all means, you know what he's capable of in the Big Ten. You saw what he was able to do at Florida, Utah before that. His coaching record, college football speaks for itself. I'm going to be interested to see who Nebraska picks. Maybe Mickey Joseph picks it up after this. We'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.